We'll see, Peggy. Now, you get into the wagon. We still have a long way to go.
Tell you what, Peggy, if you'll be my partner in the sack race, I'll take you to the picnic, and your mother, too.
Will you? Will you really, Adam?
It's a promise.
Can we, Mommy?
Oh, please put that on my account, Mr. Anderson.
Hello, Miss Dayton. Mr. Cartwright.
Ladies?
We thought we'd be hearing an announcement from you two before this.
Yeah, it was one of the hottest days on record. It's not official, but that's what everybody's saying.
They're not fooling me one bit. There goes the next Mrs. Cartwright. Well, I should hope so. The way that young man's been monopolizing her time since her husband died. Wonder which one's doing all the hesitating. Well, the man, my dear, as usual.
Extra bundle to carry in.
Thank you, Adam. But I suppose you really shouldn't come in at all.
Yes, I suppose a woman in your position is very vulnerable to gossip. Especially when she's seen keeping company with a man too long.
I'm afraid it's something we both have to think about, though. Not to please those silly gossips, but so be able to decide these things for ourselves.
I assure you, my intentions are strictly honorable, ma'am.
So are mine.
Hey, do you like your front door?
I'm sure I closed it when I left.
Yeah.
Don't shoot, unless you want to get rid of Laura's favorite aunt.
Aunt Lil! Laura! Oh, Aunt Lil, what a wonderful surprise!
Aunt Lil!
Oh, baby.
How's that, Aunt Lil? Can you spare one?
Adam, I'd like you to meet my Aunt Lil.
Call me Lil, Adam. Aunt Lil sounds like someone bent over a hot stove stirring pea soup.
Actually, she's my fairy godmother. She always turns up at the right time.
You gotta quit polishing those lamps, honey. Well, come on in. Make yourself at home.
No, I better get on back and see if the ranch is still there. But it was nice meeting you, Lil.
Same here.
Laura, can I give you a hand with the things?
Oh, no thanks. We'll manage.
Don't forget about the picnic.
I won't.
Now, you go upstairs to your room and you'll find something there that was not there this morning. So that was the stubborn mule.
I'll get some coffee started.
Never mind that. You tell me what's wrong.
Wrong? Well, nothing's wrong. Whatever gave you that idea?
Your last letter. Little things I read between those brave lines.
Peggy and I are getting along fine.
Laura, this is your Aunt Lil, and I've come a long way.
I know you have. And I'm very glad you're here. Well, maybe the ranch is beginning to get me down.
It is a tough job for a woman, especially a woman who works with her heart on her sleeve.
Now, Lil.
Don't now Lil me, tell me the truth. Of course, I know he's a good-looking guy, but I've seen them all from Chicago to San Francisco, and there's not one of them that's worth a single hair on your head. You've got your heart set on him, haven't you?
Adam is a very fine man. He's honest and kind, and he's been wonderful to Peggy and me. I think he's made me really happy for the first time in my life.
But he likes to keep his hat by the door so he can get out.
Well, don't they all?
Do you love him?
Oh, Lil, that's something personal between Adam and myself.
Laura, you're forgetting I'm your Aunt Lil. I love you. I'm not just a stranger.
I know. But all this talk about marriage, well, don't you see? First, we have to be sure we love one another, and then we'll know what to do.
Oh, well, that's fine. But what I say is get married first and fall in love later.
Now, you stop that.
Aunt Lil! Aunt Lil! The dolly's beautiful! I love her, Aunt Lil! I love her! Thank you, it's wonderful!
And now that your fairy godmother's here, everything is going to be wonderful. How about it? Can you spare one?
We gotta do something, Paul. We already lost over a dozen head, and the situation ain't getting no better.
What about that summer range you were talking about? There ought to be some grass up there.
There he is, but there's a lot of critters on it already grazing it, too.
Trouble is, you put too many beeves up there, it gets overgrazed. Takes forever before the grass comes back.
We're gonna have to do something about these down here, Paul. Them that squeak through this summer ain't gonna make it through the winter. Welcome, stranger.
What gives? Looks like a wake.
As a participating member of this ranch, I think you should know that we're about to lose 500 head of steers.
Yeah, it's starting to eat cactus and local wheat.
I know, I was out looking at them last week. Seems to me we just have to unload them. Joe's in Frisco. Why don't we send him a wire and see what price they're paying over there?
Well, no matter what the price, we still don't have any hands to get them there.
What about the Bonner brothers?
I'd just as soon not do business with those two cutthroats.
I don't see how we can avoid it. They're the only drovers working through here this time of year.
Since you used to chase around with them before you came to your senses, you want to talk to them?
Well, if I can find them. I'm going in town tomorrow to pick up Laura and Peggy, taking them on that 4th of July picnic. If I can find them, I'll talk to them then.
Say, when are you going to bring that gal of yours around here so I can get a look at her?
You know, or marry her so you can stick around here where you belong.
All right, that's enough. It's the 3rd time today.
Sorry.
He'll do that.
Yeah.
Now you all know the rules. Twice around the town. Get set. Ready?
All right,
miss all the fun if we have to wait here all day.
You're quite right, my dear. It's sad but true, and you'll learn one of these days that we have to depend on men most of the time for our fun.
Where's Adam, Mommy?
I don't know, dear. He promised to meet us here. Well, now, where are you going?
Never you mind. I have a pretty good idea where he is, and I've had a lot of experience along those lines. You do, and I'll throw you all in a horse trough in one ugly lump.
I don't know, Adam. See, the trouble is the market price is way down at Railhead, even for good cattle.
I wouldn't worry. You've always come out ahead.
Yeah, but this is different. Now, that's a big herd, over 500 head. Hungry cattle don't drive easy. Well, we'd have to take on extra men.
Sure, the whole deal could wind up costing us money.
That I would like to see. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make it $25 a head. That's as low as we can go. Put it on my tab. All right.
Leo!
If you ain't a sight for sore eyes. When'd you hit Virginia City?
I'm visiting relatives here. Oh, Sam, it's good to see you again.
Do you still sing? Hey, you've put on a pound or two here and there, but you're still a lot of woman, Lil.
Hey, take it easy. I'm a lady of means now. I'm Mrs. Lillian Manfred of San Francisco.
So you and the moose finally got hitched. Wonderful.
Yeah, Charlie was killed in a mine accident about 2 weeks after we were married.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lil. That's too bad.
Yeah, sure shook me up. But, well, things aren't all bad. The cave-in exposed a silver shelf as big as that bar of yours.
Oh?
Oh, that's right. Now, I'm seeking Mr. Adam Cartwright. Is he a patron here?
Yeah, sure, Lil. Mrs. Manfred. There he is.
Adam, Laura and Peggy were expecting you at the picnic this afternoon.
I know. I didn't know time had gone by so fast. Look, would you take the tickets and the three of you go on ahead, and I'll join you there when I'm finished here. And tell Laura and Peggy that I'm sorry, will you?
Hey, you better run along too, Adam. We don't want to get you in trouble on our account.
It was like Laura Dayton's got a ring in your nose before she even got you hog-tied.
Listen, I come here to talk about cattle.
Oh, sure, Adam. Suppose you take us out there and give us a look at them beeves. We'd hate to buy a cow in a poke, so to speak.
Well, you can find them, can't you?
Well, sure, we could in about a week's time, but we got to be in Aurora tomorrow.
All right, let's go.
That's my ball.
Oh? What shape is it?
Round. My aunt gave it to me. You can ask her.
Well, little missy, you better learn to catch better than that. Haven't you ever heard of finders, keepers, losers, weepers?
It's not my fault Aunt Lil can't throw too good.
Ladies are not supposed to be able to throw a ball too good.
I do.
Hello.
Well, since you made a positive identification, I guess I'm going to have to give it back to you.
I'm sorry. Would you like to play with us?
You need an extra player?
I'll make a deal. You play ball with Peggy, and we'll share our picnic basket with you. That is, if you're alone.
Yes, I'm alone. I just dropped by to take a chance on a raffle.
Good. Come along.
All right.
someone who will play ball with Peggy. He can throw a ball better than I can, I hope.
And we're going to share our picnic lunch with him, too.
Well, Nick's all right.
Well, I think we can do better than that, if you don't mind taking your chances.
Right now, I feel that I'm doing much better than anything I could have won at that raffle.
Oh, I hope you can throw a ball the way you throw a line.
I spoke the truth, ma'am.
Come on, let's play ball, Mr. What's your name?
Will, honey. Will Cartwright. Well, did I say something wrong?
No, excuse me. I'm Laura Dayton. This is my daughter, Peggy. And this is my Aunt Lil.
Laura, you're Adam's girl, huh?
Well, not exactly.
Say, where is he? I thought he was bringing you to the picnic.
Oh, I think he's attending to some important business. But you're welcome all the same. Isn't it strange we've never met?
Oh, I've stuck pretty close to the ranch lately. But he's told me an awful lot about you.
Oh? Nice things, I hope.
Laura, let's get lunch. We've lost one Cartwright, but we've found another, so we're sort of even.
That's right, Mommy. Finders keepers, losers weepers.
Say, little miss, I've got to go earn that chicken.
Now, there's nothing to cry about, dear. You had a good time with Will, didn't you?
Yes, but Adam promised. Maybe he got hurt or something.
No, I don't think so. And don't you worry. You just close your eyes and go to sleep. And tomorrow will be a lovely new day. Good night, sweetheart.
Good night.
Did you finally give up? Want some twice-baked chicken?
I don't understand it. It's not like Adam. At least he could have sent us a message. That's what makes me so angry.
It's like all of them, believe me. He'll start apologizing, and then you'll start feeling sorry for him. So don't see him. I learned that the hard way. Oh, Adam. Good evening.
Oh, Lil, is Laura in?
No, I'm sorry, but she's retired. I'll tell her you called.
Thank you. Would you give my apologies to her and Peggy about this afternoon? I'm sorry.
Hello, Adam.
I'm sorry, Laura. Some business came up. Couldn't wait.
Well, sometimes promises can't wait either. It was very rude of you to leave us waiting at the hotel. Peggy was bitterly disappointed.
I know. I'll try to make it up to her.
Well, I hope you can.
Yeah. Well, good night.
Oh, baby. Don't ever let him know you have a temper. Not at this stage of the game. Listen, sweetheart. They always come back, hat in hand, and very contrite. Usually.
Oh, look what that cow's doing to my garden. Shoo! Shoo!
Beat it, you silly, miserable cow. Beat it.
Oh, it's another one of those Cartwright cows.
Well, why don't you get them to repair the damages?
Well, we're supposed to maintain the line fence. I can't fix it, and the hands have been too busy.
And I suppose you wouldn't dream of asking Handsome to come over.
No, I wouldn't. Besides... Oh, it's on the Ponderosa. They're probably trying to open a new spring. Get some fresh water for the cattle.
It's such a hot day, I think I'll go for a little drive and cool off. And I've never been to the Ponderosa, so I might drive by there. Would you like to come along?
No, I wouldn't, but you go right ahead if you like.
I might do that. And I just might do a little fence mending of my own. All these explosions going on, are you sure it's not too dangerous for a lady?
Oh, my boys are doing some dynamiting a few miles back. No, you're perfectly safe here, ma'am.
I'm not too sure. I can hardly believe you're a daddy. I can see now where Adam gets his looks.
Oh, you must be Laura's antelope from San Francisco.
Yes.
Well, it's sure a pleasure to meet you, ma'am. I'm sorry we're not better prepared to welcome you.
Oh, nonsense. Between your Adam and my Laura, I feel like a part of the family. Of course, I wouldn't dream of interfering with your work, but being a woman, I'd love to see the Ponderosa, this wonderful place that Laura keeps talking about.
Well, that niece of yours is a lovely young woman. We were very concerned for her when her husband passed away.
Well, as the good book saith, sometimes these things areth for the best.
Yeah, I must have missed that bit of scripture.
I understand your home is quite a showplace, Mr. Cartwright.
Well, it's nothing fancy.
I'd love to see it sometime.
Well, of course. I'd love to show it to you. Well, perhaps you and Laura could come for dinner tomorrow night.
We just love that. That's a marvelous idea.
Good. Those boys of mine will be running out of dynamite. I better get this fresh batch to them. I have to get back to work now.
This has been a very rewarding little visit. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. Yep.
Sure you will.
We've been waiting for you, Paul. Who was that?
Oh, one of Dan Cupid's henchmen or henchwomen. There was arrows zinging all over the place. I guess Adam was lucky to be out there with you.
Yeah. You know, Adam's been working a whole lot harder since he ain't seeing that gal no more, but he's a whole lot harder to live with, too. I don't know which one's best.
Neither do I, Hoss. Neither do I. You about ready?
Come in like that a few years ago, and I figured I was in for a lecture or a tanning.
Neither one.
Just a little fatherly advice.
Well, maybe I'm meddling where I've no business to be meddling, but... Well, you've been seeing Laura Dayton pretty regularly since her husband died.
Yes, well, that and horse stealing seems to be a very serious crime around here lately.
If you want me to tend my own business, just say so. You don't have to be sarcastic. Now, you can see Laura Dayton as much as you like. I wouldn't blame you for that. If you're not aware of it, people around here are beginning to think of Laura as Adam Cartwright's property. That kind of thinking puts a certain responsibility on you. Even a certain obligation.
Well, now, Laura is free to keep company with whomever she chooses.
Well, would you like to tack that testimonial on the walls of the post office?
A
for all
man
the
is
doubting?
kind to a woman who has suddenly lost her husband and...
Is that what it is? You're just being kind to her?
I don't know. Maybe I am.
You know, been single as long as you have, Adam. You can't blame him for being a little spooky about marriage. But if you're not sure, absolutely sure, maybe you ought to back out of this. It's better than living a life with the wrong woman. Now, I've said it, and that's the last you're going to hear from me on the subject.
Pop, I'll be right down.
What about the Bonner brothers?
Well, if you want to give those cattle away, they'll be glad to take them off your hands.
Oh, they will they? Well, we'll just sit tight, and if they don't come around, we'll drive those cattle down to the coast ourselves. Either that or slaughter them. Why don't we have our coffee in the living room?
Yes, let's. My goodness, I don't know how you men do it.
Huh? What's that?
Set a table like that with all the other men's work you have to do.
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Still, it must be a chore after a full day of man's work and having to do housework, too.
Oh, well, Hopsing does a very good job of that as well as the cooking.
Oh, I know he does. But I bet you miss the little delicacies like pies and cakes that women love to make.
Aunt Lil, Hopsing is also a very fine baker.
I'm sure he is. Oh, Ben, I'm dying to see that stallion you were telling me about.
Now?
Why not? It's bright as day.
Well, of course, if you like.
And Peggy, dear, I'll bet if you're real nice, Horse will show you his egg collection.
Eggs? What eggs, ma'am?
Oh, now, Horse, be honest. I never knew a country boy in my life that didn't have a bird's egg collection.
Ma'am, that was a long time ago.
Hoss, I think if you looked in that old chest in the storeroom, you might find them there.
Along with the butterflies, huh?
Oh, please, Hoss.
Come on, doll.
Well, if you ladies have no objection, I think I'll ride into town. Ben?
Aunt Lil is quite an organizer.
Yes, but a nice organizer. Pa calls her Cupid's henchman. You know,
Adam,
Forget it. Blame it on the weather.
Adam, if I fan myself with my handkerchief, will you suggest that we go outside where it's cooler?
Did Aunt Lil say I would?
Mm-hmm.
Would you step outside in the moonlight?
Why, Adam, what a lovely idea.
Remember the other time we took a walk in the moonlight?
I remember you kissed me. I'm afraid I acted rather silly, but, well, it just didn't seem right at the time.
How does it seem now?
Well, I don't know. I haven't any basis for comparison.
Oh.
Oh, Adam, what would I do without you?
You know, I think I've done you an injustice, Laura.
How?
Well, you know how much I've been monopolizing your time lately.
You've been wonderful, Adam.
I haven't given the other fellows too much of a chance.
I haven't minded.
Neither have I, but well, people begin to assume that I have some sort of an option on your time.
Adam, what are you trying to say?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that, well, if you'll have me, I know I'm putting it badly, but I'm asking you to be my wife.
You don't put something badly that you feel. Adam, you don't owe me anything. But thank you for your thoughtfulness and your concern.
Take this along with you. Probably no call for it, but sometimes they're better than food and water.
Oh, Adam. Can we talk to you a minute? Rick and I talked it over, and we decided that, well, since you folks and us been such good friends for so long, we'll take that herd off your hands. For $20 a head.
Well, what I said the other day still goes.
All right, you got yourself a deal. We'll make a count, and we'll leave a draft at the bank in town.
All right, one of the boys will give you a hand. When do you plan to move them?
Wednesday.
That's moving day for your lady friend, too, ain't it? Oh, I guess he hadn't heard. Well, she's putting a whole kit and caboodle on the block.
Mommy, can I take my dolls on the stage?
Just one, dear.
Adam,
Lil?
how are you?
Hi, thank you. Afternoon, Laura.
Hello, Adam.
Well, sit down, won't you?
Thank you.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I think I'll help Peggy pack.
I understand you're planning to sell the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
When did you decide?
I finally admitted I can't run a ranch by myself. So Aunt Lil invited us to stay with her in San Francisco until I get situated.
I see.
Thank you for stopping by, Adam. It was very neighborly.
Laura, is it because of what happened the other night?
No, not just the other night. Maybe it's time I faced the truth.
Why all the haste? Look, I've been thinking about what happened the other night.
Oh, don't, Adam, please. When it's not there, a lot of thinking and backtracking isn't going to put it there.
Aunt Lil, I want to take the doll you gave me, but I'm afraid the other dolls will be jealous.
Well, that could be a problem. Jealousy isn't good for dolls or people. On the other hand, sometimes it can be real strong medicine.
I understand, Laura.
Thank you, Adam.
You sure there's nothing I can do to help?
Oh, yes, there is. You can come to dinner tonight.
Aunt Lil, we're in no position to entertain now.
Don't you worry about a thing. This is my party. Anyway, we owe Adam a dinner. Let's call it a going-away party. After all, you may never see me again.
Well,
Wonderful. And you bring your cousin Will and be here at 8 o'clock.
Will?
Yes, I'm sorry we don't have room for everyone, but I'm sure we can manage the 4 of us.
I'll ask him. I'm sure he'll be here if he can.
Aunt Lil, will you please stop meddling in my life?
You call it meddling because I invited 6 people to dinner?
6?
Yes, 6, baby, including Peggy and a green-eyed monster.
that was just the beginning. The stage was still 20 miles outside of El Paso in real wild country.
More coffee, Will. I made some fresh for you.
Well, thank you, Lil. That's the best coffee I ever had in my life.
Laura showed me her secret.
Laura?
Baby?
No.
Oh, Adam, I nearly forgot you. Let me warm yours up for you.
It'll just get cold again.
Now hold it tight this time. I think I've got it. Oh, I know I did wrong. Just once more, Adam, please.
You are a dear.
Well, go on, Will. I'm dying to hear what happened.
Well, as soon as the driver reined in, right then and there, I knew something was wrong. You see, there wasn't any stop schedule for way out there.
Were they bandits?
That's right, Peggy. It was bandits. 5 of the meanest cusses I ever saw in my life.
Are you sure it wasn't 50?
No, just 5.
Weren't you scared, Uncle Will?
Well, I think I was. They look like real cutthroats.
Were you armed?
Well, all I had was a single-shot Derringer. Oh, little bitty thing, didn't mean anything. So I thought that discretion would be the better part of valor at the time, and I took my money out, the large denomination bills, that is, and I shoved them under the seat. You know, I just tucked them in there.
Good thinking.
Well, go on. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Me too.
Well, there was this major's wife. She was coming out from Chicago to join her husband. And she had on 2 of the biggest diamond rings you ever saw in your life. So naturally, I told her to hide them, get rid of them fast. Well, the poor girl, she started pulling and twisting and turning, and she just couldn't get the rings off.
What'd you do?
Well, I didn't know what to do. But I realized that if the bandits ever saw those rings, they'd have taken them. Fingers and all. And just as the bandit leader opened the door, I reached over and grabbed the lady's hand. As though I were her husband, you know, comforting her, thereby covering the rings.
Did they ever find the rings?
You know something? They were completely taken in. Why, I must have held that lady's hand and comforted her and everything for 15 minutes, all through the robbery. And as it turned out, for some time thereafter.
Oh, Will.
You know, I'll always be grateful for that lady because she had the presence of mind to remove her hands from mine before we got to the garrison because, well, if her husband, the major, ever found us like that, I think we'd have been better off with the bandits.
Well, if I can have my hand back now, I think I'd better get Peggy ready for bed.
Adam, can you give me a hand?
I'm surprised that an ingenious fellow like you couldn't figure out a way to handle this all by himself. Making yourself pretty handy these days, aren't you, hmm?
Just helping Laura get her things ready to ship to San Francisco.
I'd have asked for your help too, Adam, but I knew you were still busy with your cattle sale.
I see. Did the Bonner boys move them out yet?
Well, I don't know if they can even move themselves. They've spent the entire morning over there in the saloon.
Well, it's not your worry anymore.
I'll see you before you go. I have a little something for Peggy.
She'll want to say goodbye, but we won't leave for a few days, so you'll have time.
Bye.
What a man would give their right arm to have you look after him like that. If I've ever seen the picture of a jealous man, that's it. Your plan worked.
Well, what do you mean? What plan?
Oh, I know what you and Aunt Lil were up to 5 minutes after I got to your place. That's why I embellished the story of that holdup.
Oh, well, we enjoyed your story.
And I enjoyed helping out. Although the fact of the matter is, the only other passenger on that stage was a salesman from back east.
Oh, Will, I am sorry.
Oh, don't apologize. I enjoyed telling it. All of it.
Well, so did I. I mean, we all did.
Except Adam.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to go to the bank. I'll only be a few minutes.
Jeff, are you sure this stuff's good for the heat?
Sure, it's better than wind off a snowbank. Besides, we're getting medicated in advance in case we get snake bit on the trail.
Well, if I were you, I would stop worrying about the snakes and start worrying about the herd.
Well, you don't have to worry your head about our cattle, Adam.
He's got troubles of his own. Well, with that good-looking Will Cartwright rustling his sweetie.
One more word, and neither one of you is going to move that herd.
Oh, come on, Adam. You ought to be glad you got the ring out of your nose.
Adam, cool off. Why don't you two boys get going?
Ah, shit. Come on, Rick. Whiskey's watered anyhow.
You watch now. With that many whiskeys in them, they'll go riding out of here like a couple of Comanches on a warpath.
Well, it wasn't our fault. She ought to be standing here in the street like that. Hey!
Baby!
You get on those horses and walk out of here. And if that girl's really hurt, you start running, because I'll be coming.
Adam, that poor baby. Thank you.
She'll be all right. Outside of a few scratches, a slight concussion seems to be the full extent of her injuries.
Thank the good Lord.
Yes, she's a lucky girl. But a few days' rest and she'll be back to normal.
May I see her?
I don't know why not, Adam.
Thanks.
Yes, a very lucky girl.
Doctor says you're going to be all right.
Yes. Adam, I'm sorry I gave everyone such a fright.
Well, now that I know you're all right, maybe it's just as well that it happened.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, while I was waiting out there for the doctor to tell us whether or not you were seriously hurt, I realized what it would be like if you went away. And then I realized that I need you very much. I don't want you to go away. I want you to marry me.
Oh, Adam.
Well, your recovery seems very complete, Laura.
Yes. Aunt Lil, Adam and I are going to be married.
Not until you've had that rest I prescribed, young lady. Adam, she's your responsibility now, so take her home right away. But drive slowly. She can't take any more bumps just now.
I'll get the rig, and I promise no more bumps.
I'll look in on you tomorrow, Laura. Oh, and congratulations.
Thank you, Doctor.
Well, you won't be needing me anymore, so I guess I'll move along.
Thank you, Will, for everything.
It worked, didn't it?
Aunt Lil, what worked?
My pressure game. He proposed, didn't he?
I suppose you even arranged for the Bonner brothers to run me down in the street.
Oh, no. Using Will to make Adam jealous, that's what did the trick. All you have to do is get the right bait in the trap. That's rule number 1.
Well, that's the trouble with traps. The bait always gets hurt.
Your carriage awaits.
I can walk, Adam.
All right, but not alone.
We set the trap all right, but I wonder if we caught the right man.
Where's Adam?
Well, he left early this morning. We thought he was over at your place.
Well, he was supposed to come over. We were going into town to see Mr. Weems about selling my place.
I don't blame Adam. He's been a little absent-minded lately.
Absent-minded? It's been more than that. He came over for supper last night and he fell asleep while I was washing the dishes. It's happened the last 3 times he's been over. You're working him too hard.
Ha, that'll be the day. Matter of fact, we've been doing his chores lately.
Well, whatever it is, I hope he gets over it soon. I don't know what I'll do about the appointment with Mr. Weems.
Will, why don't you go with Laura? We'll get the chores done.
Fine.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions I won't know the answers to.
Well, I don't know how much help I'll be, but I'll sure try. Would you take care of my horse, please?
Certainly. I'll tell Adam you're in town.
Yeah, and we'll also give him some very serious advice about falling asleep in the presence of a good-looking gal, too.
Come along. I don't know what's gotten in Adam lately. Getting up early, staying out late, never telling anybody where he's going.
Well, if you don't want to tell us, it ain't none of our business.
Yeah. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna get up early one of these mornings and just follow him.
Ha, anytime you get up earlier than is necessary, that's going to be a miracle. And in second place, you ain't going to spy on your brother, and you know it.
Just the same, I don't think it's fair to Laura. I really don't, because people who are engaged are supposed to be miserable when they're not together all the time.
That's you, little brother. You ain't Adam.
Hoss is right, Joe. You have no business criticizing anything you don't know anything about. Besides, your older brother knows what he's doing.
Anything you say, Pop.
How's it going?
Great. Now that I got the delivery on those special beams.
You're working a little short-handed. You sure you couldn't use more men?
I'm sure, Pa. I want to take as much care with this place as you did with the Ponderosa. And I hope this house lasts as long and is just as happy.
Well, I know how you feel, although I didn't have any problem keeping my house a secret.
Problem? What do you mean?
Well, it's always a problem keeping things secret from a woman. There's no protection against a woman's curiosity.
Well, I just want to present the house complete, finished, on our wedding day as a surprise. Does that bother you?
I don't know. Do you think Laura would rather have you keep it a secret or have you spend a little more time with her now?
Why, has she been complaining?
No, not really.
Well, there's nothing to worry about. As soon as I get delivery on our cedar panels, I'll hire some more men for the job and we'll get it done faster.
Why don't you tell her about the house?
Oh, I've gone this far, I might as well finish it.
Even at the risk of maybe neglecting Laura too much?
Oh, stop worrying, Pa. I love Laura, she loves me. I just want to present the house on the wedding day as a gift. It's as simple as that.
You gonna be buying the house before you go over to Laura's?
Well, it depends on how much I get done here. I may go directly over there if I'm late.
I certainly appreciate all your help, Will.
Well, I don't know how helpful I was, but whatever it was, you're certainly welcome.
You can take the buggy onto the Ponderosa. Adam can bring it back tonight when he comes for supper.
You know, since Adam's been eating over here so regularly, Hop Singh's nose is out of joint. You must be as good a cook as he says you are.
Well, Will, you know you're welcome to come over any time to supper and judge for yourself.
Well, I better wait till after you're married. I think that right now, 3 would be a crowd.
Mommy! Hi, Mommy. Hi, Uncle Will.
Hi, Peg.
Where's Adam, Mommy?
Well, he's busy. What did you want?
I wanted to ask him something about my pony Traveler.
Can I help?
No, thanks. I'll wait for Adam.
She's going to miss this place.
Oh, she'll love the Ponderosa once you settle there.
I'm sure she will.
You have any doubts?
Oh, I know the Ponderosa's lovely, and I adore Ben and the boys, but...
As a group, they're a little overwhelming, huh?
But do you realize, counting Hop Sing, there are 6 men in that house?
Well, you call that bad? Well, you two will be as spoiled as princesses.
Well, I wouldn't mind being a princess, but I would like to be a housewife in a place of my own.
Adam know how you feel?
Yes. At least I have asked him to think about staying on here after we're married. But he won't hear of it. Adam is very strong in his opinions. But I really shouldn't be talking to you about this.
I understand how you feel.
We'd better keep it a secret. They'd be very hurt if they knew.
All right. And we'll keep it a secret.
Thank you, Will. for everything.
Anytime.
This is a pretty tough job for a little girl, Peg.
Oh, Adam, I know I can do it. I just know I can. I'm going to give my pony a surprise on its birthday. It'll be a year next month since you gave him to me.
Oh, my goodness, has it been that long? Well, you're a better rememberer than I am.
I'm a pretty good rememberer, too. And it's your bedtime, young lady.
Oh, Mommy.
And no arguments.
All right, now look, Peggy. You're gonna braid these 3 strands for about 6 more inches. Now, I want to keep you busy until I tell you about the next step. Now, you do what your mama says.
Yes, Adam. Good night, Adam. Good night, Mommy.
She certainly minds you better than she does me.
Well, it says it should be. Seeing as how I'm going to be her father.
And when is that going to be?
Oh, as soon as we're married, of course.
Oh, Adam, don't tease me. You know perfectly well what I mean. When are we going to set the date for the wedding?
Well, we've decided that sometime this summer.
I mean specifically. We have to pick a definite date. Well, there are millions of things to be done. This ranch has to be sold, a wedding dress has to be made, church arrangements.
My goodness, you are eager, aren't you? Isn't that being a bit forward?
Adam, you're impossible.
Don't worry, sweetheart. We'll pick a definite date real soon. I promise you.
Well, there is one date that's definite, and that's the party that your father's going to give for us.
That's right. Let's see, now when is that?
You know perfectly well it's 2 weeks from next Saturday, and don't forget it.
I won't. I'll be back in time.
Back? From where?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I have to go out of town on the 10th, but the party's not till the 14th, so there's plenty of time to get back.
Well, you'd better be back. I got material for a new dress, and with the pattern I picked out, it's going to take me about 2 weeks to finish it. It's going to be beautiful. It's lavender organdy, and I'm going to make a sash. Doesn't that sound wonderful, Adam? Adam.
Well, I'll go in and get my ticket.
And I'll go in and get the mail.
Well, I could go and look at the new dresses in Miss Irene's, but I won't. I'll be strong and just sit here and wait for you two.
You're the only passenger leaving. The stage is ready to leave now.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Well, the clerk says I'm the only passenger leaving, and the stage is ready, so say goodbye to Will for me and thank him for driving you back home.
I will. And don't forget about the party on Saturday.
Don't worry, I'll be back. Take care of yourself and Peggy. Bye. Hey, mind if I ride with you? Keep you company?
What happened?
Oh, the stage was ready, so Adam had to go. He said to say goodbye and thank you for driving me.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed saying goodbye. I'd have been back sooner, but I stopped to read a letter.
Good news?
I don't know.
Not bad news, I hope.
No, but might help me make a decision that I've been putting off.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, this letter is from a friend of mine. I met him when I was traveling around.
He's got an import business in San Francisco. Wants me to travel around the world for him and make contact with these firms he does business with.
Well, that sounds perfect for you. You like to travel.
Yeah, it's real tempting. At least it gives me a clear-cut choice. You see, before it was just a question of staying on the Ponderosa or picking up and aimlessly wandering off.
You sound like you've already made up your mind.
Well, there are a few things I have to solve yet.
Like what?
Well, like telling Ben and the boys in such a way that they don't think I'm ungrateful.
I'm sure they'll understand.
Maybe. What about you, Laura? Don't you have the same problem about staying on the Ponderosa?
No. Whatever apprehension I have about living on the Ponderosa, I'll live wherever my husband wants me to live.
Oh, that Adam. He's a lucky man.
I was looking for you. I thought I might find you out here.
I suddenly decided I needed some fresh air.
It is kind of warm in there. Oh, sure lovely out here, isn't it? I'm sorry about Adam.
It wasn't Adam's fault the road washed out. His wire said how sorry he was.
Well, I still feel he should have left a little earlier.
It wasn't Adam's fault. He couldn't help it.
Laura, you're going to make a very understanding wife.
Would you do me a favor, Mr. Cartwright?
Of course.
Well, I have a headache, and I really should pick Peggy up at Mrs. Robbins'. Would you mind if I went home now?
Oh, of course not. I'll have one of the boys drive you home. As a matter of fact, I'll have them bring out your wrap, and I'll say good night to the folks for you. A headache can be a pretty miserable thing. You wait right here.
You're very kind, Mr. Cartwright. Thank you.
For my future daughter-in-law, anything.
I understand you have a headache. The boys and I just drew lots to see who'd take you home. And wouldn't you know I lost? I should always be so lucky.
Well, I don't know how lucky it is. I feel it's an imposition. You've had to take me so many places lately.
It's always my pleasure.
And the prince came home to the farm girl, and they lived happily ever after. Oh, Mommy, Mrs. Robbins tells such beautiful stories.
Indeed she must. I'd have thought you'd have been asleep long before now.
No, because I was making up a story of my own. You want to hear it?
Oh, not tonight, young lady. You should have been asleep hours before this. Now, you run on up to bed.
I don't think I can go to sleep unless I get to finish my story.
Well, you try.
I'll tell it to my doll. She loves stories. Good night, Mommy. Good night, Uncle Will.
Good night, Peggy. Well, I better go, too. Give you a chance to get some rest.
Oh, I feel much better after the drive. Why don't you sit down and have some coffee? I just have to put it on the stove to heat it.
You sure you're all right?
I feel fine.
All right.
Besides, I've been wanting to ask you about that job in San Francisco. What did you decide?
Well, that's a problem.
A problem? Well, I know all about problems. Now, you take tonight. Getting a headache and acting like a fluttery female just because I was disappointed.
Well, that's understandable. It was your engagement party, wasn't it? That should be important to any woman.
No, the important thing is to see things in their proper perspective, not to behave like an emotional child. But here I go chattering on when you said you had a problem. Will, what is it?
Nothing. Just forget I mentioned it.
Well, we know each other better than that. Besides, I'm always confessing my worries to you.
I've got to go now.
Wait, you haven't even had your coffee yet.
That's all right.
Well, what's wrong?
Nothing is wrong.
Well, something's bothering you. Tell me what it is, please. Maybe I can help you this time.
Laura, you can't help me this time.
Try me, please.
That's the problem.
Stranger.
Howdy, stranger. Where's your mother?
I'll go call her. Mommy! Mommy!
What is it, Peggy? Oh, hello, Adam.
Hi, I threw my hat in ahead to see if I was welcome, and Peggy gave it back to me. Do you approve?
Of course. Welcome home.
Oh, a little peace offering.
What'd you get me, Adam?
Well, now, you just go look in my saddlebag, Miss Greedy.
Adam, you spoil her.
Oh, I just gave her a bridle. The rate she's braiding hers, the pony will be too old to use it. Go ahead and open yours. I hope it fits. It's better than anything I could find in Virginia City.
It's very nice.
I'm sorry about the party.
It's all right, I understand. You didn't have to buy the ring in apology.
It's not an apology. It's not just a gift, it's a wedding ring. I think it's time we set the date.
Why now? You've been saying for weeks that...
Well, I know what I've been saying for weeks, but... Well, now we can set the date.
Well, I'll think about it.
Think about it. Why, it's all you've been talking about.
It wasn't important to you. Well, now it isn't important to me.
What's wrong, Laura?
Adam, I've seen practically nothing of you for weeks. You're gone from morning till night. You've left all the wedding arrangements to me, and when I do see you, you fall asleep on the couch. And at our engagement party, you weren't even there.
Laura, I don't blame you for being angry, but... Well, things are going to be different now, I can promise you.
Adam, maybe...
Maybe what?
Maybe we shouldn't set the date now. Maybe we should think some more before we get married.
Well, I don't understand. You've been upset for the past few weeks because we couldn't set a date, and now that we can set a date, you're even more upset.
Well, maybe that's the problem. That I am still upset.
Well, I think it's just a case of nerves.
What about you, Adam? Are you nervous?
No, but as soon as we set the date, I will be.
Give me some time.
All right. Take all the time you need. As a matter of fact, I could use some time myself.
You?
Yeah, well, you said yourself there's a million things to take care of. Things keep popping up every day.
Then we agree?
Yeah, you just let me know when you're ready and we'll announce the date.
All right, Adam.
Then I'll see you tonight?
Well, I have a headache. Could we make it tomorrow?
Sure, I'll pick you up for church. You'll get over those nerves. It's gonna be tough enough living with me every day.
Laura. Why aren't you in church?
This morning I thought it was more important to talk to you.
Well, how'd you know I was here?
Hoss told me
Oh. What else did he tell you?
that you'd come into town to sell your horse to Mr. Coombs in there.
That's right. I decided to take that job in San Francisco.
I know. Get in and I'll drive you back to the ranch.
Hoss is picking me up later.
I told him I'd pick you up.
Laura.
Get in, Will, please. Let's get down for a minute. I'd like to talk.
All right.
Now, why did you suddenly make up your mind to go to San Francisco?
It wasn't sudden. I've been thinking about it a long time. I told you that.
And last night you kissed me.
Yes.
Are you sorry you did?
No, I'm not sorry. But I shouldn't have.
Why shouldn't you?
What do you want from me? Do you want some kind of a confession? All right. I love you.
Kiss me. Well, please. So now we both face the truth.
Well, I knew how I felt, but
Me too. If we hadn't both been so conscious of Adam, we would have realized what was happening weeks ago. That kiss last night shocked me into facing it.
oh, I love you.
I love you too, Will.
Now there's Adam.
Well, what happened to us happened almost without our knowing it. It was just there. We didn't deliberately set out to make it happen. But now that it has, the best thing for all our sakes is to be honest about it.
Make him understand.
And he will. Well, there's been a hesitancy about our coming wedding from both Adam and me. His reluctance to set a wedding date, his constant absences. Maybe these have been indications of doubt he hasn't faced.
Well, I don't know anything about that. All I know is that I'm going to have to tell him about us.
We have to tell him.
All right.
Let's tell him today. Now. And I don't know where he is. When he came by to pick me up for church this morning, I said I still had a headache. But he said he still had some things to do. I suppose he's on another one of his mystery trips.
I think I know where he is. Come on.
One morning early, I saw Adam going up this canyon. I think it's this one.
Well, listen.
Sounds like somebody hammering. Come on.
We better go on down.
All right. We better not try to move him.
Maybe you're right. It might hurt him even more. You better go for a doctor.
I heard you coming. You startled me. I guess I moved too fast.
Lie still. Will has gone for help. Adam, we weren't spying on you.
Of course not. I was building your house. I waste so much getting the best. Surprise for you. On wedding. Oh.
What does the doctor say?
Says there's serious damage to his back muscles and nerve system.
Then?
The doctor didn't know. But I do know. He'll recover. And he'll walk.
He's going to need constant looking after. You'll have to make room for Peggy and me.
We'll have room. Will? Well, I'm gonna need your help, too. I know you were planning to leave for San Francisco, but we're gonna be a bit short-handed.
San Francisco can wait.
Thank you, Will.
Sweetheart, what are you doing here all alone?
I got nobody to play with.
I know it's lonesome for you. Why don't you go out for a ride on your pony?
I can't. Uncle Hoss says he has a fever in his leg and he has to stay in his stall for a few days. It's like Uncle Adam, isn't it? I mean, he can't do anything.
In a way. But Adam has lots to do. His exercises and reading and talking to visitors.
When is he going to come downstairs?
When the doctor says he can. Why don't you go up and talk to him? His father's exercising his legs now, but I know he'd like to see you.
All right, Mommy. Hi, Uncle Will.
Hello, Peggy. I was looking for Ben.
He's upstairs talking to Adam. Run along, Peggy.
Well, it wasn't anything important. I'll see him later.
Will,
There. Oh, Adam ought to be able to manipulate that wheelchair up and down that slick as a whistle. Of course, he might have to have some help getting up.
Yeah, but you know he'll be able to get around outside just as well as he does inside with those wide wheels we put on.
Yeah, let's go tell him we finished.
The boys certainly did a fine job on that chair.
They sure did. Well, she moves around as smooth as a greased buggy.
Adam, we got that rail pole ready. You want to take a try at it?
I'm ready.
Adam, this chair is good, but not as good as those exercises. Don't let it become a substitute.
No, don't you worry about that, Doctor. Laura and I won't let him do that.
no, Doctor, he's a very good patient.
You mean obedient. You're training me as a husband under that excuse.
Come on, let's try the ramp, and if it dumps you, it's horse's fault.
I must get back to town. I've got other patients, too, you know.
Doctor, how soon do you think it'll be before he'll be able to walk?
Well, he's making good progress, and with the continuance of the exercises, I think he's got a very good chance. But it's still more than a matter of muscles. A lot will depend on his, well, his mental determination.
Well, I think he has plenty of inspiration for that right here.
He's a lucky man.
Yes, he is. I'll go with you, Doctor.
Time to join us. Come on, we're gonna play a little ball.
I'd like to, but I've got to see your father.
Come on, Mommy. Mommy, let's go.
Oh, well, come on in. Sit down, sit down.
You got a minute? I'd like to talk to you.
I sure have. Shoot.
Well, the roundup's over now, and things ought to ease off, so I think I better get ready to go.
Well, I can't say I haven't been expecting this. Well, I can't tell you how grateful I am for you staying on and helping. I just don't know how we'd have gotten along without you. Sure wish you didn't have your heart set on going, though.
Well, Ben, I appreciate the opportunity you've offered me here, but you know how it goes with me. So I'll be making plans to leave in a few days.
Will, just remember that, well, this is your home, and we're your family. Whenever you need us.
I won't forget.
Here you go, Laura. Look out there.
Sure is wonderful the way Adam improves every day.
It sure is.
Will? Ben told me you're planning to leave.
Yes.
Why, Will?
It'll be better for both of us if I go. It's impossible for me to stay here like this.
I know, but it can't be for much longer. He's getting better every day.
Laura, he can't walk. It may be years before he can, if ever.
No. No, Will, that's not true.
Wishing won't change anything. We can't think of being together as long as he's like that. That's why, darling, I have to go.
No. No, he'll get well, and then we can tell him.
We can't live our lives out in that hope. What are we supposed to do in the meantime? Torture ourselves?
Well, I'll always love you.
Yeah, I heard. Part, at least. Enough to know the truth.
I'm sorry.
Don't be, I understand.
We were coming to tell you before you had your accident. Adam, there was never anything behind your back.
I know. Neither one of you could. I told you I understood.
I'll be packed and gone by tonight.
But you can't do that, Will. You gotta take Laura with you.
No, this doesn't change anything.
Will, listen to me. Weeks ago, my father tried to point out to me that I wasn't so much in love with Laura as I was the idea of being married, of having a home. But I wouldn't listen to him. I was too intrigued with building that house. But these past few weeks of lying in bed in this wheelchair given me a chance to realize that my father was right.
Adam.
Now, let me finish. I suppose I haven't told Laura the truth because I was afraid of hurting her.
So now you're making a sacrifice so I can have her, huh?
No. What I told you just now was the truth.
Look, I admire what you're trying to do, but it just won't work.
Will, I swear I'm telling you the truth.
I hope that someday Laura does marry you. She'll be a lucky girl.
There. Now, your father will be out in a few minutes to start your exercises.
Laura, I'd like to talk to you a minute.
All right. What about?
About you and Will?
What do you mean?
I mean that I know that you and Will are in love.
How could you?
Doesn't matter. The important thing is that I know. It's all right, Laura. Go to it.
I can't.
Sure you can. You love him. Marry him.
But what about you?
I'm all right. I love you, Laura, and I'll always love you. But not the way Will loves you, and not the way you love Will. Marry him. Live on your ranch. There's no need for Will to run away to San Francisco now.
Adam, why couldn't we have talked like this before?
Before my accident? You know, Laura, I think I've known all along that it would never really work out with us in marriage. Please believe me.
I believe you. But Will won't. He'd always feel guilty.
Don't let him. Make him believe.
I can't. I know. It's too late, Adam.
What's Laura upset about? What were you talking about?
About getting married.
I thought you decided to postpone the wedding until you'd completely recovered.
I wasn't talking about me. Talking about Will and Laura. They're in love.
Sorry.
You remember you were trying to tell me that maybe it wasn't Laura I was in love with so much as it was the idea of building my own Ponderosa? Well, you were right. These last few weeks, I've finally realized it.
Well, you'd better tell him.
I tried. But Will wouldn't believe me. He thinks I'm making some noble sacrifice. Laura feels the same way. They can't have a marriage as long as I'm in this chair.
I'm all packed. I'll spend the night in town so I can catch the early morning stage.
I'll tell Laura that you're leaving. Laura,
Yes?
Will is leaving.
You mind if I borrow the buckboard?
No, just leave it at the livery stable. We'll have it picked up.
So soon?
When you finally decide, you might as well go.
Peggy's going to be very disappointed she didn't get back in time to say goodbye.
Say goodbye for me. I'll send her something from San Francisco. Adam? Keep up those exercises. Ben? Goodbye, Ben. Thanks for everything.
You remember what I said about this being your home?
I won't forget. Goodbye, Laura.
Bye, Will. Adam.
I'm all right. Now you go to him. See, I don't need you. And he doesn't have an excuse now for not marrying you, has he?
Oh, Adam, thank you. Thank you. Will?
Let's go inside and give him a little privacy.
Stage ought to be here any minute now, Obie.
Maybe I had nowhere to go.
Now, Obie, you gotta.
But Walter.
Don't you worry none about Walter. You can tell he's as excited as he can be about you getting to make the trip.
Sure is, ain't he? Maybe if I hold off the spring that Walter will feel like going with me.
Obie, you're gonna have to quit putting this off. How long's it been since you've seen your sister anyhow?
Well, let's see. Spring of 43. Make it now in the 16 year.
16 years, and you're still trying to put it off.
Well, what in the tarnation she expect? She's moved 40 miles away.
Hold it. That Obie and horse cart, right?
Yeah.
Listen, maybe we ought to go over. Yeah? And what? Well, you ain't forgot what they done to us, have you? That ain't likely. I also ain't forgot they can throw you in jail for jumping a man in broad daylight, either.
Willard here don't figure things like that out. He got nothing to figure with.
Oh, yeah? Well, I figure I can take you anytime. Yeah. Now look what you done. You stuck it. All right. I'll break the two of you.
Bye, Walter.
Now, Obie, you just enjoy yourself and don't you worry about nothing. Old Walter's gonna love Ponderosa.
Don't forget the music.
Well, I don't know about that, Obie. I ain't much on that music.
Walter's plumb crazy about the low notes.
Yes? I'll try. Hey, here's your... Hey, Obie, what's in there anyhow?
Beans, boy. Don't you remember them with the special seasoning?
Yeah.
There's plenty more stored in the cabin. Help yourselves if you and Walter have a mind to.
Oh, no. No, Obie, thank you anyhow. Thanks a lot.
I'll declare, boy. With your peculiarities about victuals, I don't hardly see how you got as big as you are. Well, so long, horse.
So long, Obie.
Get up! Get up!
Looks like old Obie is going somewhere.
Figured that out, did you?
Well, ain't he getting away? Yeah, Macy. Ain't he getting away?
No, he ain't getting away. He left that mud here, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, that means he's coming back. What I gotta figure out is just what kind of trouble he's coming back to.
Adam, if it was me...
It isn't. I think you boys had better start digging those post holes early tomorrow morning.
Paul, we can't do that.
Why not?
Well, it's gonna rain.
Who says so?
Walter. All you gotta do is look at Walter.
Oh, come on, Hoss. You're not Obie. You're not going to take that doc seriously.
All you gotta do is live with him for a while.
Yeah, he's the greatest excuse you ever had for not working.
Me and Walter went into town for the supplies, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you brought back half the stuff we needed.
Well, if I'd have brought it all back, I wouldn't have had room to cram Walter on the wagon.
Hoss. Did you enjoy the ride with Walter?
Well, yes. Sort of pleasant.
Then enjoy digging those post holes tomorrow morning.
In the rain?
Oh, come on. It hasn't rained for 2 months.
And it ain't likely to rain for another 2 months.
I mean, Paul, listen, all you got to do is look at Walter over there. Now, you see how that hair sort of swirls around there on his back? That's the surest kind of a sign. As a matter of fact, might even get a little thunder and lightning.
What thunder and lightning?
Come on, this time of year?
Now, Hoss, I don't want to appear unreasonable. But I'm running this ranch, not that dog's hair.
Oh, of course you are, Paul. I ain't trying to get out on no work.
Well, you dig post holes.
Ain't that Walter something, though?
Sure hope his hair doesn't get any swirlier. We'll have snow.
Well, I'll keep an eye on it, Paul. If it does, me and Joe will get the stock in.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. Me and Walter, too.
Night, Paul.
Night, Paul. Adam, you wouldn't mind exchanging bedrooms with me for a few days, would you?
Oh, why do you want my room?
Well, Walter's accustomed to a sleeping room with a southern exposure.
Well, I guess I'm rugged enough to sleep in a room without a southern exposure.
Little brother, you're gonna have a quilt for your bed.
No, I got a quilt on my bed.
No, you ain't. I put it on the floor for Walter.
Why my quilt?
It's the warmest quilt in the house.
I know. That's why I picked it.
Yeah. Well, me and Walter's got to turn in.
Where did you get that thing?
This is it's a horn that Obie left for me. He wants me to play a few low notes for Walter every night before he goes to bed. It makes him relax so he can sleep better.
Relax? Relax him?
I haven't seen that animal upright or with his eyes open yet.
Well, he stands up and opens them every once in a while when he's eating.
You don't say.
Now, you watch your funning, Adam. Walter's a very sensitive dog. Besides that, he's our house guest.
Yes, I know. He's sleeping in my room.
Yeah, on my quilt. He's right. I think we should apologize.
Oh, that ain't necessary, little brother. Walter don't mind a little funning. Ain't he a pure joy? Come on, Walter.
What are we doing living here in Obie's cabin?
If we had to depend on your figuring, we'd be living in a shack the rest of our lives. Now, why don't you just shut up and leave the figuring to Macy?
Well, if it was up to me, I'd just go right on out and I'd shoot that horse. And then I'd wait for Obie to come back, and then I'd shoot him, too. And then
You
I'd shoot...
just go right over to the Ponderosa and shoot horse, huh? Even if it weren't stupid, you couldn't hit the side of a barn with a cannon.
Well, would you like to try me, Teague? Huh? You wanna try me, Tiggy boy?
Ain't you two gonna learn how to act at a business meeting? The business at hand. The job we came here to do, find Obie's gold. Have you forgot that?
But Obie put that gold in the bank.
That's the gold he had. I figure there's a lot more gold around here somewhere, and with Obie out of town, now's our chance to find it.
Oh, we ain't no miners. How we gonna find a gold vein? I tell you, we should have got Obie alone and choked it out of him.
Yeah, but he ain't never alone. He's always got that miserable dog hanging around, advising him.
A dog advising him. Well, now, that ain't the limit.
But you heard Obie saying it all the time himself. Many's the time you heard him.
Sure I have. But he's got to be crazy to say it. And you got to be crazy to believe it.
You calling me crazy?
I ain't never been a man to back away from a fact. Oh, sit down.
I've been thinking about what Willard just said. Did it strike you that Obie's extra brainy?
Ain't you heard a word I've been saying? He don't make no more sense than a bath in the wintertime.
We ain't never got the best of him yet, have we?
That's 'cause he's been just plain lucky.
Mighty lucky, wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, mighty lucky.
Yeah, the man that lucky has to have a powerful lucky piece. Yeah. You know how I got it figured? Walter's Obie's lucky piece.
Yeah.
You know what we're gonna do about it? We're gonna change our luck and get even with him at the same time.
Ain't nothing wrong with the idea, but how you aim to manage it?
Well, we're gonna dog-nap Walter. And we'll let him advise us for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How much longer you figure we're gonna have to wait around here?
Ain't no telling.
Maybe they won't let Waller out at all tonight.
They gotta let him out. It ain't tidy otherwise.
Well, I wouldn't have waited this long for the prettiest gal in the territory.
Shows you the difference between love and money, don't it?
Well, at least waiting for gals ain't so cramping. I ain't so sure I can straighten up when the time comes.
Oh, I got a cure that'll straighten you up.
Let me be, Tig. Let me be.
Cut it out now. Come on. Hey. The door's opening.
Let me know when you get ready to come back in.
Come on. Will you be quiet? You want him to hear us in there?
What are we waiting for, Missy?
Ain't no sense in catching him before.
Before what, Macy? Yeah, you got a point, Mace. Yeah.
Come on. Give me those meat scraps. Give me those. Here, Walter. Here, Walter. Nice doggy. Come on, Walter. Good boy. Come on, nice puppy. Come on, come on. Get ready, you two. Come on, Walter, nice boy. Come on, nice boy. That's a good boy. Get him!
No! I got him, Macy! I got him! I didn't mean to take it. You're always hitting me! Always hitting me! Oh, you idiot! No! You bonehead! Leave me alone!
If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times, you won't get ahead playing around on a job. Where's the dog? Come on, Walter.
Hey, don't it seem like Walter's been gone an awful long time?
Well, actually, I hadn't noticed. I was so stunned by your practicing.
Yeah, Walter loves them low notes, too. I think I'll go out and call him. Here, Walter. Come on, Walter. Here. Here. Time to go to bed, Walter. Now, I ain't gonna wait up on you all night.
Where's Walter?
I don't know. He must have took off or something.
Maybe he heard you practicing and didn't like the tune.
Walter likes the low notes. He'll be back when he gets ready.
Oh, aren't you even worried about him?
Walter? Joe, Walter takes very, very good care of himself. Well, I think I'll turn in.
Now, hold on there. You gonna go to bed? You're responsible for that dog.
Oh, Paul, it ain't like I don't trust him.
Well, that's not the point. The point is, are you gonna let that poor dog stay outside all night?
If he wants to. You know, Paul, after all, Walter ain't no puppy.
He's gonna make us rich.
How? How? By finding us a gold mine, just like he did for Obie.
Well, how do you figure on making him go about it?
Well, we give him a pouch of gold, let him take a sniff, and then just turn him loose.
It's all there is to it.
Oh, it's as easy as pie. Then all we have to do is start digging.
Digging?
Digging?
Yes, digging.
With shovels?
Well, we ain't got paws.
I've never been too overly fond of digging.
Listen, why can't we just rob the bank and take the gold that's already been dug?
Why can't we do that?
I could give you as high as 3 or 4 reasons, but I'm gonna give the both of you the main one. We may get shot at.
Oh, that's just because folks ain't overly fond of having their banks robbed. Now, you gotta expect that, Macy.
No, not anymore. We won't even have to dodge one bullet. Thanks to Walter here. Now, let's get something to eat and get some sleep. We got a rough day ahead of us tomorrow. Clean up the cards. Sure glad we found this pot of Obie's beans. No! Otherwise, one of you'd have been going back to the shack for supplies. Get your hand out. I gotta feed Walter first. He needs a lot of pep tomorrow. Now. Good boy, Walter.
All right.
Some manners. All you twos thinks about your own selves. What's the matter with you? You know, there's nothing I like better.
How about that? Hardly took you no time at all.
Ain't there an off chance he could be making a mistake?
No, sirree, and we're gonna start right here.
Why can't we just rob the bank like everybody else does?
Yeah, I ain't never been overly fond of digging.
And I ain't overly fond of getting shot. What's the matter with you?
Morning, Bo.
Morning, Ross.
Has anybody seen anything of Walter?
No, not a thing.
Imagine that rascal. Staying out all night.
Yeah, he better be through his car locking before Obie gets back, eh?
Yeah, Dad, burn it, Obie gets back today.
Oh, today?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna eat breakfast. I'm starving.
Any other time, this much supplies would last us a month. Now we'll be lucky to get through the week.
I ain't never seen a critter eat so much in all my born days.
What I'm worried about is if there's enough money in that bank to show a profit after we get through paying for Wallace's victuals. Willard.
Yes.
What did you...
Oh, cut it out, you two pinheads. Shut up!
Hey, Boss Cartwright.
You don't reckon he's looking for us, do you?
Ain't no reason why he should. And what's he doing in town?
Offhand, I'd say to meet that stage coming yonder.
Whoa! Howdy, Obie. Sure good to have you back.
you're a sight for sore eyes yourself.
Yeah. Well, looks like that trip done you some good.
Well, I got to admit it did. Where's Walter?
Well, Obie, he ain't to be found.
Took off, did he?
Last night.
Ain't he the racy devil? Hey, what's them scalawags doing in town?
I don't know. From the looks of them, they must have took up honest work. I ain't never seen nobody that played out.
I'm just as glad to see him. Now we can move back to our own shack.
Yeah. We can get back to robber in the bank, too.
It'll be a pleasure to get back to clean work instead of playing around digging tunnels.
You're both wrong.
What do you got in mind?
The way I figured, there's no sense of beating our brains out trying to rob that bank. We'll let Obie get the money out of the bank for us.
You must have stayed in that tunnel too long, Macy. All that dirt and all going up your nose, it'll clog up your thinking.
Nothing wrong with my thinking. Obie will be more than glad to get that money for us. We're gonna hold Walter for ransom.
Ransom?
Yeah.
What's that, Macy?
We had some good news for you, but Walter's still missing.
Well, Walter ain't missing.
Well, where do you think he is?
I know where he is. He's out frolicking.
See, Paul, ain't no use in us getting all cut up about it. Obie will just stay here with us till Walter gets back, that's all.
Well, then you're sure he's coming back?
Always has.
Well, we've got nothing to worry about then. You just stay here until he gets here.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, but I reckon it won't be too long.
Yeah, Obie, how long does Walter generally stay out on one of these little deals?
Well, it differs. I mind once Walter's went romancing, he's gone for a whole week.
Well, tell me, isn't it just possible that Walter might run into the right kind of gal dog one of these times and never come back?
Me and Walter's natural bachelors. Ain't no gal dog been born can separate me and Walter.
Oh, I see.
Well, then I suggest that we go inside and wait.
How much money you reckon we ought to ask for?
Why don't you just ask for the moon? We got as much chance of getting it.
There ain't nobody crazy enough to pay us real money for a dog.
Obie is. After all, Walter's valuable.
For what?
Well, there's some things you just can't pinpoint, Willard.
Especially if they ain't there.
What's the matter with you, Tig? Don't nothing satisfy you around here lately?
That's because we ain't done nothing right around here lately. We've been working ourselves to the bone, digging holes, stealing mutts, and we ain't made a dime.
That sounds pretty close to right, Macy.
Fact is, where that hound eats, we're a sight worse off than when we started.
Oh, now you're gonna stand there and fuss over a little grub, and we got a chance to make a fortune.
A little grub?
Walter has got a right smart appetite, you know.
Yeah, and lucky for us, he has. Ain't nobody gonna pay $10,000 for a sick dog.
10,000?
Yeah, that's what I decided.
Well, figuring by the foot. That is from here to here to here to here. Walter should be worth about... Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Walter's nose is hot.
Of all the dirty tricks. He eats every blessed thing in the territory, and then when we're ready to cash in, he ups and kicks off.
Nobody kicks off around here unless I say so. You hear me? More likely an upset stomach.
Or the gout.
Willard, get the water. It's all right, boy. It's all right. We'll take care of you. Keep up these treatments. I'll finish this ransom. Counting the one on the end. How many E's in the word dear? D-E-R-E.
That's a mighty fine supper, horse. Too bad the rest of your family missed it.
Yeah, well, they're going to eat in town on account of they got such a late start, see?
That Hop Sing's some cook.
Yeah.
I never figured I'd take such a shine in Chinese grub. What was that we had?
That was roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, Obie. Did you hear that?
Front door?
Yeah. Bet you that's that Walter. It's for you, Obie.
Well, ain't that nice? Ain't had a letter since I don't know when.
Yeah, well, that didn't come in the mail, Obie.
Oh, hand carried. I wonder who'd want to get in touch with me that bad. Do you reckon it's from a sister?
Oh, I don't know. You can always open it and find out.
It ain't signed.
Dad, Barney, go ahead and read it. What does it say?
It says if I want to get Walter back, I got to pay $10,000.
$10,000?
Did you ever hear the like of it?
I sure ain't.
Me neither. Walter's worth a heap more than that.
You ain't gonna give him that $10,000.
I sure am. I just hope Walter don't find out how little they ask.
Obie, that's crazy. That's just like dumping good money right down a well. Besides, you ain't got no guarantee they'll deliver Walter back to you even if they get the money. No, sir, what we gotta do is outsmart them, that's what.
I don't know, Hoss. If Walter ain't outsmarted them, I don't know how we can.
Let me see that letter, Obie. Says here you gotta leave that money at the end of Oak Canyon by noon tomorrow. Well, that gives us plenty of time. Come on, Obie.
You knotheads were supposed to stay here and look after Walter while I delivered that ransom note. Now, what have you been doing?
You delivered the note already?
Yeah, I left it on the door. You know, this beats that robber in a mile.
You better tell him.
You tell him. You was in on as much as I was.
But you thought of it.
Well, somebody better tell me something. Now, what have you two been up to?
Macy, we always stuck by, ain't we?
Through thin and thick.
So?
So, Willard and me figured that nursemaid critters ain't got nothing to do with outlawing.
It ain't fitting.
So?
So we let them loose.
Is that all?
Is that all?
Come on, you two. Get up. Get on your feet. Get up. Hey, that hurts.
You gone loco, Macy?
What have you gone and done with him?
Who?
Walter.
Ain't he here?
You know he ain't here.
Honest, Macy, we ain't done nothing.
We ain't moved all night, Macy.
You sure?
I'm sure, Macy.
He's gone. He's gone. Walter's gone.
I ain't never seen nobody act like that. He ain't moved for the most part of 2 hours.
Sure is taking it hard.
Plumb pitiful, ain't he?
Sure is.
Why don't we put a cold rag on his forehead? That pepped up Walter.
No, that's the cure for a hot nose. I ain't sure it's gonna work on Macy.
How about a mustard plaster?
No, that's for wheezing your chest. You can see for yourself he ain't wheezing.
You don't like none of my ideas. Well, why don't you think of one yourself?
I ain't no sawbones. I'm an outlaw.
How about some castor oil?
Castor oil?
Yeah, if it was one thing my mama set store by, it was castor oil. No matter what ails you.
You got any?
I ain't never without any. He don't look like he's ready to take none of this now, though.
We'll have to give it to him. I'll hold him and you pour, all right?
All right.
What do you knuckleheads think you're doing? Doctoring you. Doctor me for what?
For what ails you? You've been acting mighty strange lately.
I've been thinking. Thinking?
We didn't have no way of knowing that, Macy.
We were just trying to help.
Don't you think you ought to told us something about it, Macy?
All right. I'm thinking how to get Walter back.
Won't you just try a little of this stuff?
Walter!
Oh, so you sure we're doing the right thing?
Absolutely, Obie. Why, with all these traps we got set around here, if them fellers even try to get close to that ransom box, why, we're bound to get them in one of these.
That ain't what I'm worried about.
What are you worried about?
It's Walter. If he suspected we was laying all these traps and all, instead of paying the money for him, he might get upset.
Don't you worry. Go get that ransom box. Now, put it over there on that ledge and be careful when you walk between that tree and that rock so you don't get in one of our traps. Be careful!
How is he?
Fine as frog's hair.
Looks like our troubles are all over. I ain't so sure. I still think we ought to get out of that dog business altogether.
Yeah, Macy, why can't we just go back to plain outlawing?
Because you have to finish what you start. Otherwise, it makes for bad habits.
Maybe, but I don't...
No maybes about it. All I have to do is go out and pick up our money.
You ain't going out in the daytime.
In the daytime, Macy?
Somebody's bound to see you in the daylight.
In the daytime?
There ain't nobody gonna see me. I got it all figured out. A roundabout way nobody can follow me. Now, you two stay here and watch Walter.
I don't trust him. He might just grab that money and keep on going. You stay here with Walter.
Sure, T. He don't trust him. You stay here with Walter. I got him, Macy.
That's a skunk, stupid. $10,000. Right down the well.
Oh, that Walter's got an evil mind.
What are we gonna do now?
We're gonna get it out.
With what?
Well, we gotta have something long and slim and...
No, Macy. Macy, Macy, I can't swim.
Gone. How'd they get through them traps? I knew Walter would like this.
Come on, you lunkheads, you're heavy.
Willard is dizzy from the blood running to his head.
Well, tell him to stop getting dizzy and grab that box.
Macy says stop getting dizzy and grab the box.
What'd he say?
He needs about another foot.
What does he think my arms are made of, rubber? All right, I'll scrunch down a little bit.
How stupid can you get just to run into your own trap?
He's running right along behind me. You hanging here beside me, ain't you?
I told you it's a bad idea.
Dad, burn it, Obie. I can't figure out how they got to that ransom box without first getting in one of these dang traps.
Maybe Walter helped him.
Now, why would he do a thing like that?
Because we just didn't pay him the money.
He ain't that kind of dog.
He can get mean when his feelings is hurt.
Obie, I'll bet you if old Walter knew the predicament we was in right now, he'd be right here to help us, just like that.
We gotta build a fire and dry out this money.
I gotta dry myself out first, Macy. Hey, Tig, you like to drown me when you come crashing down on top of me like that.
How do you think I felt with Macy on top of me? He's heavier than a... Oh, stop the yapping and build a fire. Why don't you spread it around and dry it that way?
Yeah, Macy, spread it around.
Get the wood and build a fire. Newspaper! Newspaper!
Newspapers?
Through, I quit. I don't want any more to do with it.
What do you mean?
I am quitting this outlaw business.
Macy, you mean you're turning honest?
Yes, yes.
Yes. See?
Castor oil.
You think you could manage to play chess with your feet on the floor?
Oh.
I'm getting worried about Hasanobi. I think we ought to go out looking for him. You sure they didn't tell you where they went?
Oh, he told you they were flying in and out of here today like they were on some kind of a secret mission for the governor.
But doing what? Doing what?
Oh, they didn't say, Pa. They said they didn't want to jeopardize Walter.
It's ridiculous. Where the devil have you two been? I was just about to send a posse out looking for you.
Well, Paul, we sort of got hung up.
Yeah, we was left up in the air, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well?
Paul, we was out trying to get Walter back.
Back? Back from where?
I'm afeard Walter's in a heap of danger.
Oh, is he? From what? From falling off a chair?
Walter! Am I glad to see you, boy. I missed you something terrible. You all right, Obie? Sure, look at him. He's tickled to death to be back.
He is?
He's awfully excited. You got to expect that after what he's been through.
Well, yeah, especially being high-strung and all like he is.
Come on, Walter.
Hey, wait a minute. Where you going?
Going up to read that ransom note to Walter.
Oh, what's the matter? Can't he read it himself?
Not without his glasses.
Ain't he a caution, Paul?